show.
There.
Can you check to see if we made it, though?
You're
now live.
Woo-hoo! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing tonight? And happy International Women's Day. Very good. And thank you to all the women that made this world run. Thank you very much. Guys are okay too.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. Well, we had a couple of gremlins just now, so we're just happy to be here live and broadcasting. I've got a few of my good friends here with me, Z, Heidi, Danielle, Felicia, and Dylan over in the corner. And we've got some other people out in TV land. I think Karen's manning the chat room.
Yeah, thank you, Karen.
Appreciate that.
Hello, Amy.
So we just wanted to start out, excuse me. Emily couldn't be here tonight because she's not feeling so great. So she is at home recovering, getting better. So I'm going to step in for her. And I don't know if you witnessed the last school board, but it got a little crazy when it came time for public comments. Dylan wanted to speak about something that happened at bargaining. He's not on the bargaining team. Emily did want to speak about something that happened at bargaining. She is on the bargaining team, but she in no way, shape, or form violated any rules. That's something that we want to stay clear of. And I was always brought up, if you make a mistake in public, it's okay to admit the mistake in public. But we have not done anything that we should be ashamed of. So I was unsure. You know how people tell you something that you know to be true, but you second guess yourself? So even though I second guessed myself, I did contact our lawyers and I laid out all the specifics. Anything that Emily was going to talk about had already been presented at the bargaining table. Therefore, there was no violation of anything going on. And Dylan's not even on the bargaining team, so he could speak freely about what was going on at bargaining. And again, nothing was attempted to be presented to the school board members that had not already been shared at the bargaining table. So let me see here. Let's see, it's right here. So this is not nearly as pretty as the one I think that's going to appear in chat. It's a bright yellow form, but this is what Emily was trying to get across to the school board members, because sometimes it seems like they're, what did I do wrong?
Sorry, nothing. It says low volume, sorry.
Oh, sometimes it seems like they're in a little bubble, and they, how do I say this politely? They may or may not get information outside of what's given to them by their team. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So we just wanted to make sure, they had all sides of the story, because as a dean, you understand there are at least two sides to every story, and the truth is somewhere in between. So anyway, we originally, OCEA originally proposed an 8.7 cost of living adjustment. And it would have been $4,200 to $4,800 raise for most teachers. And it would have cost around $23 million. So the district came back with their counter proposal of $1,000 one-time payment, and that would have amounted to about $4.3 million. So as you can see, we weren't anywhere close to being in the middle. So we came up with a different proposal. I think, we came up with a different proposal that kind of is the same thing as 8.7%, but we thought it would make it, the way we presented it, we thought it would make it much more palatable for the district, much less of a strain for the district to actually get to that. So we proposed a 6.5% cost of living adjustment. And that would have been a raise of about $3,100 to about $3,500 for most teachers. So in addition to the 6.5% cost of living adjustment, we also wanted a one-time $2,000 payment for all the teachers. Now this altogether would have cost around $24 million, but it would have been a lot less recurring costs over and over again. Only about $15 million over $15 million recurring costs. My partner's trying to monitor chat too, and I'm distracted.
No, I'm trying to raise the volume, sorry.
Anyway, And we're always told that, you can't have recurring expenses on non-recurring money. But it seems like the district really does have recurring money. So where's all this money going to come from? We found the money. Simple as that. We found the money. It is in the materials and supplies line item. And this is how the district budgets their money. In 2018, 2019, they budgeted $49 million, but they only spent $9 million. And $11 million went to categoricals. In 2019, they budgeted $43 million, but they only spent about $7 million. In 2020, they budgeted $47 million, but only spent about $5 million. In 2021, $39 million, almost $40 million. And they only spent $4 out of the $40 million. So last year, get this, last year they budgeted $40 million, only spent $4. This year, 22-23, they budgeted $70 million. And if you look at the past 4 years, the average they spend in that line item is only $6.7 million. Somebody a lot smarter than me once said that government agencies are not meant to make a profit, especially when they're using tax dollars to do it. So I think that is about my time. Is there anything that else I need to?
And to add to that, where they're asking now, it was very strange for them to hear us saying about where did we get this money, where did we find it, because it is the document. It's called Annual Financial Reports, or FAR, which is a document that the district needs to provide to the state. So it is a legal document, a legitimate. So we're not just thinking that the money's not coming from anywhere. We know where the money are.
So I think I heard you say that the numbers we were using were the numbers they provided to the state.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So,
interesting, right?
Yeah, we didn't make that up.
Huh? Yeah. Let us take a minute in here, because some of you friends have said that the volume is low, and we've been trying to change the volume all the way up.
Here it is, here.
What's that?
This.
I don't know. It's been blank in there, so we cannot click on it.
Some settings are managed by an
Do you have a
administrator.
speaker?
I am not an administrator.
No, that's fine. Just exit out.
Mm.
Sorry, guys. We're just trying to make sure that you are able to listen to the information that we're providing. No, we have. You can hear. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. This is a computer that I don't have administrative rights on. I'll put it that way. So some things are locked out.
Mm-hmm. You're correct. Well, thank you, Pat, and you're correct, Javier. As the money is, why won't they give it to us as a raise? So time to start speaking up. Yeah. Okay.
My turn.
So thank you, Larry.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
So, if I would like to have the ESPs coming in too, so you can join me in our bargaining updates. Yes, I'm sorry that we're playing musical chairs in here now. So, in here I have Felicia and Danielle that they have volunteered to join us today to speak about the ESP's bargaining updates. So I'm going to start speaking about the instructional updates. So at this point, we want to make you aware of everything that the bargaining team have proposed to the district in order to improve your working conditions, and make you aware that they're stalling. We're fighting for you guys, and for some reason the district is taking the little sweet time. Back on September 8th, 2022, we proposed an additional pay for substitutes and auto splitting. So whenever you need to be able to have to cover for a class, you should be able to get paid. So we asked for $50 if it was a half day, or $100 if it was for a full day. Now, we also ask for the auto split. Auto split, for those of you that do not know, is whenever a teacher is absent and a substitute have not been able to be found, they need to split the kids from that class among the rest of the grade level teachers. So we ask for, every time that an auto split happens, we ask for you guys to be compensated at least $30 of each time that the class is auto split. And if there's another auto split, because the situation have happened that there's more than one auto split per day, then the teachers should receive an additional $30,000. So for 3 consecutive meetings, we were back and forth. The administration, the district was not making any counter offer. So the last counter proposal has been that the teachers shall be compensated with an equivalent of 1.5 employee rate, the hourly employee rate, for every time that they need to substitute during their planning time. We are also exploring the possibility that, because one of the counter offers that they did, it was that the principal will find a classroom teacher to serve as a volunteer during planning time. If there is not a volunteer, the principal will assign a classroom teacher to cover during their planning time. The teacher, according to the proposal, will be compensated 1 hour of their employee's daily rate pay. But in order for that to happen, they will have to make arrangements with the principal on when they are going to make up for that planning hour that they used to substitute, if you're understanding that aspect. So our last counter proposal was that instead of the teachers having to work at the school to compensate that hour that they worked, we are exploring the possibility that the teachers can work from home instead of having to work in the school premises to recover for that planning period. On that day, on February 9th of 2023, John Boyd stated that the participating instructional employees may be able to work from home for their planning time because, according to Article 5.08-4, our contract states that teachers shall not be restricted to a particular location for the preparation period or isolated from the teachers during the planning time. So we could work, according to this language, we could work in anywhere that is feasible for us. Also, we also, on September 8th, OCEA proposed additional pay based on class sizes due to the excess of students in each classroom, which is a situation that we're all facing. It's a reality. So it definitely, whenever you have more students, it's increasing your responsibilities, increasing your needs, your demands, everything that you need to be in compliance with to be able to serve your students. So back in then, whenever we did a survey back in September, 66% of the classrooms in the district were not compliant. Now, OCEA proposed to create an OPS contract for these educators and offer somewhere between 2 to 10 hours a week as a compensation to teachers for the excess of students in their classroom and all the work that is added to it. The district response have been this, end quote, management disposition is in that contract language is not needed at this time to address the concerns. They also refer, and end of quote, they also refer to the statute 1003.03 and 1002.31 that protects the school district because we are a choice district. So they don't need to follow the class size amendment. Couple of more things. Back in our first bargaining meeting, we had to sign an MOU, or we agreed to sign an MOU for a UNISIG grant, which is a Unified School Improvement Grant that the school Central Avenue and Highlands Elementary were receiving from the state. Although we agreed to pay to sign that MOU, we have requested compensation of $7,500 to educators K through 3 with effective or highly effective evaluations from years 2021 to 2022 and 2022 to 2023. There are currently 24 teachers that will benefit from that compensation for a grand total of $180,000, which OCEA have stated that ESSER funds will help to cover for that cost. Also in that day, Dr. Pays, after back and forth conversations and caucus that we went through, Dr. Pays and the district bargaining team stated that both parties will agree to continue negotiations regarding compensation for kindergarten through third grade teachers at these schools, and it will be included as an item agenda on the following bargaining meeting. As we can see, management has failed to keep their part of the good faith collaborative negotiations. Back in November, John Boyd stated that management agrees that the funds may be available, but these funds will be taken from the same source that could be used to bargain salary for employees in the district. Yet the district keeps stalling into all our proposals. And I believe that is it. I wanted to clarify whenever Lair was talking about the cost of living adjustment, that they said that those funds can come from ESSER funds because they're there. For those of you who do not know what ESSER funds means, it stands for Elementary, Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, which is a federal program administered by the Department of Education in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The program provides emergency and financial assistance to public schools across the country. And as of February, when we had the last meeting, they still have $73.8 million remaining in the ESSER fund. So we know where the money is. Thank you very much. If you have any questions? Yeah, unfortunately, because we are a choice school, they follow different statutes and they are not limited on the amount of students that can be put in a class. So with that, we will continue answering questions in the chat, but with that, I will leave you with Danielle and Felicia to share their part of the ESP's bargaining. Thank you. Let's keep playing musical chairs.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. I'm Felicia Smith, and this is Danielle.
Yes, President Elementary.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to clarify we are not on the bargaining team. We are just going to give a tidbit of what we proposed as ESPs. Originally, we asked for the 8.7% increase along with the instructional employees. And we got a counter from the school district of $500 for the 22-23 school year and $500 for the 23-24 school year, which means this year and next year. We countered then, along with the instructional staff, to $2,000 as a one-time adjustment and the 6% increase. We have not gotten any counter back from the district yet on that proposal. So that's really all I have on that right now. We have made some progress, though, in other areas of our bargaining, and I'm going to hand that over to Danielle.
Basically, it was about the bereavement leave. The school principal or any department head is authorized to approve any employee's request to serve as a pallbearer or to attend the funeral of a member of their immediate family. So that could be your spouse, your sibling, child, parent, parent-in-law, grandparent, etc.
Those days will not be part of your sick leave,
correct,
or your personal days. Those are three days additional.
3 days paid bereavement leave every school year.
What's the next point?
Okay. And the next one was the association rights. The board will provide the association with the names and addresses of all new bargaining unit employees and all retiring bargaining unit employees quarterly. So that was passed on January 19th of this year.
And that's very important to us because we have people coming and going all the time. We have hirees and people quitting or retiring all the time. And we're trying to keep up with our numbers because that's very important to our status as a union. So getting those numbers correctly from the school district is very important to us now. So they have agreed on paper, in contract, that they would get those figures to us at least quarterly. Are there any questions out there that we need to answer? Let's see. Okay, I don't see any. I'm so sorry. You didn't hear us. Basically, we're asking for the same thing as the teachers. They offered us $500 for this school year and $500 for the next school year. And of course, we all know $500 won't even buy groceries nowadays with the increase in the cost of living. A cost of living is what we actually really need. And as far as the bereavement, we have accomplished getting 3 additional days of bereavement that will not come out of your sick leave or your personal leave. It's 3 days that can be approved by your administrator to give you for bereavement for immediate family members. And then the last thing is the
association rights.
The association rights, where is the district has agreed to give us quarterly all persons that have retired or left the district and all persons that are hires and coming into the district. So we have correct numbers for our union. Will there be bereavement options? Okay. That wording has not been worked out yet, but you're going to have to take it to your administrator first, and then your school secretaries will be able to tell you how to put in for that bereavement leave. Okay, I think that's all for right now. We're going to have up next Heidi, and she's going to give us some updates on the legislation that is in Tallahassee right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, ladies. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Heidi. I'm going to try to talk loud because I know we're having some volume issues. So I'm going to talk first. I will talk about the legislative updates. First, I am going to ask everybody who's watching and those who watch later, and also to bring a friend to the school board meeting on March 21st. That is the next school board meeting. So if you could please come to that meeting, you can prepare to speak or you can just be there. Either way, we have kind of a deal for those who'd like to come. We will be giving out free shirts, free t-shirts like this one. It says our union makes us strong. I know you can't see the whole thing. But we're going to put a link in the chat so you can fill out a form and tell us your shirt size, and we will have that ready to go. You fill out your name, your shirt size, all of that good stuff. We'll have it ready to go for you at the meeting. If for some reason you can't make it, which we really hope you do, then we can send it in the courier, and hopefully you can attend the next school board meeting, which would be April 11th. The more people we have there, the stronger our voices. Even if you just attend to listen, we are our power in our unity. So come, we will have a shirt for you. We would love to see as many people as possible there. And like I said, that link will be put in the chat so you can fill out a form, get your free shirts. Okay, so now we're going to discuss the importance of our union and how this relates to the legislation, the legislative update. Last night, Senate Bill 256 passed its first committee, which means it will continue to go to other committees in the Senate and the House. We anticipate it will pass. We are watching it. But what this bill does is, one, it takes away the ability to have union dues deducted from our paycheck. So if you're a union member, you know those dues come out automatically. That it takes that away. Two, it restricts the ability of unions to give information to their members and other employees. So we would not be able to have any sort of literature, emails, or anything like that going out on school campuses. Three, it increases the required union density to 60%. This is the big one. We are not at 60% density, which means that we have 60% of our staff, instructional staff, ESP staff. We don't have 60% membership. So with that said, we really need to increase our membership. So if you are not a member, please join. We will be putting a join link in the chat. And we need this membership to insulate ourselves in Osceola County from the negative effects of this bill. What happens if we don't have this 60% membership? We could, one, lose our ability to bargain. So no more trying to get a cost of living adjustment, no more bargaining our salaries, none of the bargaining that we are doing with the covering classes and auto split, and that all goes away. We could lose our contracts. And without collective bargaining in our contract, we have no rights as instructional and ESP staff. We could be at the whim of the district management to do as they see fit. So if you think about this $1,000 offer, that's the type of thing we're going to be seeing. It's scary. It is as scary as it sounds. It's here. It's real. Please follow this bill and others if you'd like. They're going to put a link in the chat so you can follow any bill that you would like to follow. You can see if it passes. You can see if it gets, what's the word? Not passes. When it doesn't pass. Doesn't pass. We all need to, at this point, kind of want to leave you with this. We need to wake up and band together as instructional staff and ESP staff, or we could really find ourselves in a bad situation very soon. And we're not saying that to scare anybody, but it's the reality. So please join. Please tell your friends at your campus to join. We need to get to that 60% ASAP, or we're in trouble.
Yes, we are. Well, we are opening the floor for questions. Pat, you asked how the police officer unions get their dues from their members. Well, same thing, automatic deduction. Yes, they're just the same way that we do. It's just they believe that they're running towards danger, and apparently we're not.
Right. So this bill, and just correct me if I'm wrong out there who's monitoring what I'm saying. This bill doesn't attack police officers and firefighters, even though we're under the same umbrella as the labor union. It only attacks teachers and ESPs.
Yeah. And somebody else, Cheryl, you mentioned that yes, you have the ESP focus group. Crystal, sorry, you mentioned that tomorrow you have the ESC focus group in the St. Cloud Library tomorrow from 5 to 7. So join us because there's a lot of things. So you've been watching the news, a lot of teachers and paraprofessionals being attacked by students.
Yes.
ESC students, and that it's unnecessary. So we need to get together, come up with effective plans and have one voice, definitely.
Yep. Best time to arrive. I'm guessing we're asking about the school board meetings. So the school board meetings begin at 5:30. They go late, so you don't have to arrive right at 5:30 to be able to speak. You can put in a form at any point. If you'd like to see all of the agenda items, I would be there at 5:30, but it's hard to say when public comment starts, but I would definitely try to be there by then. I would say no later than 7. I mean, it's hard to tell. It depends on how many agenda items they have to go over.
Yeah. Can you guys check if the agenda for the next bargaining meeting is already up Otherwise,
School
you
board?
can check the school board meeting, the school board meeting agenda for March 21st, because then you can see it there. That's in the school district website, that you can see what the agenda looks like. You more or less can have an idea of at what time you should be arriving at the school board meeting. One thing that they normally do, they do special presentations and highlights of the district for the first 30 to 40 minutes. So between 6 and 6:30 will be an ideal time. And it all depends how long you can stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And usually people leave after those first performances and when they recognize any promotions or anything like that. So their seats open up. Someone had a good question about. Go up 1 second. It was. Will they recognize? I think it was about. Will they recognize this at the beginning of the meeting? No, they voted. 3 of the school board members voted to keep public comment at the end, and that's the majority. So it is still at the very end of the meeting.
Yeah. So one of the things that you can do, also their website, their email addresses are in the school board website, and you can contact them.
I'm getting a message that the link is not active.
Yeah.
Okay, we're trying to fix that.
Yeah.
Also, the school board agenda is not up for that meeting yet, but I can
Okay.
put a link in there, like where they can go to see it when it comes up.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So
Thank
the
you.
school board agenda is not up yet, but Dylan's going to put a link in the chat so that you can follow that and see how many agenda items are on there. And it also depends on how long they talk about each one, so that can differ. Trying to see if there's any other. Do we have a count of how many members have joined this past week? We don't have that offhand.
But definitely that is something that we can ask our secretary, and she can get that information for us. Yes. Thank you. We'll keep that in check.
Okay. Why are they picking on us? They don't want to pay us.
They see us as a threat, and I don't know. We love kids. We do this job because we love it. Certainly is not the pay. Hopefully that will get better.
Yeah.
And definitely, I'm not quite sure why public education is such a threat. We are not indoctrinating students. We are encouraging students to become thinkers, to become creative, to become decision makers and problem solvers. So
It's unfortunate.
Yes.
And we just need to make sure we stay in the fight because we know the importance. Trying to think, see if there's any other questions. I know Dylan's in the chat. Okay, I think we've touched on everything. Yeah. So stay tuned for the next Tell All. I believe we have a date for that. April something.
April 19th.
April
19th will be our next Tell All. So stay tuned. We are going to have a instructional bargaining meeting on April 12th. So we're also inviting you, wearing your red shirts and showing a strong front in the bargaining meeting. So you can see what is it that the OCEA bargaining teams are doing for you and for everybody.
In the meantime, plan to attend the school board meeting on the 21st. So we hope to see you all there. Have a good night.
Have a beautiful night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.